Yo, shout out to Sir Bravian for such a magnificent song. So, kick it off, bruv. The whole slate is coming. Let's get it.
Held, I was too hit like a thunder roll.
Come on, guys.
Shook the
I'm late
PlayStation
tonight.
faithful
I am
right
late,
down to
man.
their soul.
Come on in.
They thought exclusives were a fortress wall.
Let's talk
but
about it.
now those walls they
Let's
start
get
to
it.
fall. Final Fantasy remake, Death Stranding 2, showing up on Xbox. What you gonna do? Fanboys crying, petitions in hand, but real gamers just understand. Whole slates coming, hear the thunder roll. Whole slates coming, crashing through your soul. Whole slates coming, no escaping fate. Whole slates coming through the Game Pass gate. Fanboys crying, shouting in vain. You lost your grip and losing your game. Could've spoke with your wallet, but you stood still. Now Xbox to experience the whole damn thrill. Whole slates coming, Joel and Ellie too. Whole slates coming, intergalactic coming through.
on in, guys.
Whole slates coming, watch
Hit that like
Killzone
button.
ignite. Whole slates coming, I feel like resistance tonight.
Let's talk about it.
Where is vaccines? Where is vaccines? Where is vaccines?
She gone, man.
Last of Us taking a brand new ride. Shadow of the Colossus standing by Xbox's side.
Yeah,
Uncharted treasures ready to show. Sackboy packing up and he's ready to go. Bloodborne shadows creeping slow.
Come on.
Ratchet and Clank putting on a show. Could've stopped this if you bought the game, but you just whined and now it's all the same. Whole slates coming, hear the thunder roll. Whole slates coming, crashing through your soul.
Whole slate.
Whole slates coming, no escaping fate. Whole slates coming through the Game Pass gate. Whole slates coming.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. How are you guys feeling tonight? How are you guys going? Today was a wonderful Sunday evening, and I'm happy to be here with you guys tonight. Now, let me just say, if you was watching the football, you know the World Cup would have just ended, and Spain won. Spain won. Congratulations to Spain. They took home the World Cup. Congratulations, Spain, for beating Argentina. I know a lot of persons would have been backing Argentina and also, Messi. But I believe Spain deserved it. Spain deserved it. They really did work hard. But let me just say shout out to everyone in the chat, guys. If you type something in the chat, I will shout you out. But we have a lot to talk about tonight, right? Let me just lower down the background music. Let me just say shout out to MC Fig. Shout out to you, MC Fig. Shout out to Preston for sending that 100 for 2 jewels. Shout out to you, MC Fig. Random commenter. His comments are always random, but don't forget it's on purpose. Let me just say shout out to Knights of the Realm Xbox. Shout out to you, man. That's a long name, man. That's a long name. And of course, my guy there, Professor Strong, sending that 2 jewels there for me. Shout out to all you guys in the chat. Guys, as you guys come in, hit the like button for your boy. Just take a second to hit the like button. If we have 16 persons in here, we should have 16 likes. So shout out to everyone. There was a lot that happened this week, but I believe that we all could come to the conclusion that Sony is I don't know how they're going to recover from this. I mean, I have seen some backlash in my time when it comes to Sony and PlayStation, but I don't know how they're going to recover from this one, guys. How could Sony turn it around by bringing back disc? Well, I mean, we know that the investors are happy about no disc, but let's just say that just as random commenters say, they are cooked with a little coconut milk, a little bit of spices. These guys are cooked. So let's start off with this. We know a number of PlayStation guys did not like the games as a service push. And a matter of fact, there were a lot of guys who were celebrating when Jim Ryan left, because a lot of persons didn't like how Jim Ryan was pushing for the games as a service games, right? But it just so happened that just a couple of weeks ago, Sony would have basically said that they will not, cease live service. Yeah, look at here. Sony will continue to chase live service dream despite mostly disastrous execution to the date, right? So the PlayStation fans wanted that here what? Stop live service, we are not supporting it and so forth. Let me just say shout out to Fancy Action Now. Guys, great content, Fancy Action Now. He does the YouTube shorts, it's always on point. Guys, you could go and subscribe to Fancy Action Now. Shout out to you, brother. Price Field, shout out to you. So yes, I recall the PlayStation guys did not want live service games, right? But but Sony said, when the PlayStation guys told Sony, we do not want live service games. Sony told all these guys,
ain't nobody got time for that.
And Sony is saying that they will continue to pursue the live service genre. Sony has had some success with live service, but in a week where it gutted Bungie, the team it bought for 3.7 billion with the intention of establishing a live service center of excellence. It's hard to say things have gone well. Yes, Helldivers 2 has been very successful, and the likes of Gran Turismo 7 and MLB The Show have remained evergreen hits. But Concord remains the most embarrassing failure for PlayStation history. Fair Game still isn't out yet, and the initiative has claimed many unfortunate casualties, like well-loved studio Bluepoint. So Sony don't care what the fans think about live service games, right? Sony don't care about it. So I just read that little piece there for you guys to just show you guys the type of persons and the type of corporation Sony is, right? Now, that brings us to this. I said that to say this, right? Recently, we would have seen or heard that the marathon dev, one of the lead devs there, would have left. All right. Now, before we read that article that the marathon dev left, I want to know how marathon is doing. Do you guys know how marathon is doing presently? Let's look. Let's look and see how marathon is doing. Marathon. Let's see how this banger is doing here in these streets. Wow, 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 wow. Look at this here, guys. 5,000 people. 5,000 persons are playing marathon. This is sad. Look at this. 5,000 at all-time peak 24 hours of 6,000. Guys, I don't know what Sony can do to resurrect that game. But all I have to tell these ponies is
Gotcha. Gotcha.
not even the PlayStation community is supporting Marathon. The same guys that say that they are, the only community that plays games. Remember that? They are not even supporting Marathon. So Marathon, I don't know how Sony would resurrect this particular game. But let's see why it is that the dev at Marathon left, because it's very interesting. Look at this here, guys. Marathon game director quits Bungie. 4 months after launch, Marathon is getting new leadership. Wow. I mean, the house, this live service push is so stupid on Sony's point. But again, they will not listen to their fans. Listen to what it says. Destiny developer Bungie continued to have a tough year after launching the long-delayed Marathon in March and struggling to find a wide audience for the game. The studio announced it was ending development of Destiny 2. How long do you guys think they would say that they are ending support for Marathon? Or do you think Marathon have another year and a half or so? Let me know in the comment section. Shortly after, Sony announced plans of laying off a significant number of employees, including most of the Destiny team and some Marathon team members. In the latest shakeup of the studio, Marathon game director Joe Zingler announced Friday that he has left Bungie. Right? So this is the director of Marathon. He left Bungie. Guys, this is ridiculous in the sense that Sony is continuing to run into a wall, but yet still it is not being supported. As far as I understand, some ponies were saying that Marathon was a good game. They could see elements of Halo in it. But no one is supporting Marathon. They're still going for the Fortnites. They're still going for the Roblox. I mean, come on. Let's be honest. Right? So this dev completely would have left Marathon. And guess what? He's not coming back. So he would have been a veteran at Bungie for 15 years. He worked on Destiny 2, and served as creative director and assistant game director on Marathon, right? So all of this was happening, right? And we just seeing like Marathon and Bungie keeps falling. I think Bungie might be out of here soon themselves, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. So again, more bad news for PlayStation. But I mean, the bad news is not stopping there, guys. The bad news is not stopping there, because listen to what would have happened. You see, ever since Sony would have said that they were getting rid of all disc and so forth, look at what has happened. Listen to this.
The gaming community seems to be getting revenge on PlayStation as a PS5 emulator is actively in development. It's far from being playable, but apparently it's made very fast progress and it can even boot up Astrobot at this point in time. Now you might ask, can't Sony just shut this down if the emulator gets up and running? Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that because emulators can be developed legally. The emulators themselves are not infringing on the copyright. That would be Sony. The gaming community seems to be getting revenge on PlayStation if the emulator gets up and running. Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that because emulators can be developed legally. The emulators themselves are not infringing on the copyright. That would be the ROMs. So Sony would have to go after the individual ROM creators, which would take a...
So we are seeing that persons would have tried to, how to say, they created an emulator for the PlayStation 5. So persons want to pirate. They're not trusting Sony. They want to see how best they can save their games. If Sony is going to take their games away, they are going to stop at nothing to get their games and make sure that they own some sort of copy. So emulation is going to stop that, right?
A lot of lawsuits and resources. So while PlayStation looks to go all digital, they might be in trouble soon if all of their games are just available for free. The gaming community...
Wow. So this is another setback here for Sony. Sony has to now battle the Pirates of the Caribbean. Arr! Now Sony have to battle with the Pirates. I wonder what Dreamcast guy have to say about that. Think so. Suddenly Sony's crying and Dreamcast guy is still dancing for me. So I mean, this ROM situation would have started. I don't know, man. It's so crazy to believe that since Sony announced this situation, nothing has stopped. Everyone is continuing to beat Sony's legs in because of this ROM situation, right? Because of this situation, persons are continuing to beat Sony legs in. Guys, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, support the boy, throw something in the chat, right? So what do you guys think about that? Now, we have some good news for Xbox. We have some good news, guys, because Asha Sharma, she's not playing. Right, we'll get back to Sony in a bit. Asha Sharma, she is not playing. Asha Sharma said exactly what they were going to do, and exactly what Asha said they was going to do, she's doing it. Give her credit, right? So this week, Asha Sharma came out and said, here it is. We are going to support or put more money and emphasis on Bethesda franchises, right? We could honestly say that Bethesda franchises are some of the most some of the most popular, franchises right now. Let me just say shout out to not Professor Strong, but Anonymous Boss. Anonymous Boss, shout out to you for that $2 super chat. And of course, Adidas 20, I'm here, salute. Shout out to Adidas 20 for being a member for 21 months. I mean, Adidas at this point in time, when I have merch, man, I have to give you something. You have been a member. I think you are one of my longest members, 21 months. So shout out to Anonymous Boss. He says, Professor, send me the $5. I need to buy groceries. Well, I'm telling you something, Anonymous Boss. Guess what? You're going to go.
You got some chain for chain fire?
You're going to get hungry tonight, Anonymous Boss. Yeah, I got change your fire.
Chain me
man, get my fire on. I'm already there. No one's going to fire. I'm already there, man. Come, pick out. I want to see a pick. Yeah, I want to see a pick out. No, come and pick out. Yeah, pick it. Yeah. You are going home tonight, Anonymous Boss. No more shit for you, man.
I'm going to tell you got it fired on.
Oh, good Lord. Hey, someone give this guy a fire, man.
I'm gonna
This
tell
guy is
you
really
that.
crying. Woo, shout out to you, Anonymous Boss. Shout out to Professor Shrog and shout out to Adidas 20-0. Shout out to all you guys, man. So the good news this week, right? The good news this week is that this is what Asha Sharma basically put out, and Bethesda would have followed up. Listen to what Bethesda is going to do going forward, right? It says, a note from Bethesda Game Studios. We love making these worlds as much as you love playing them. Today, we want to share what's next for Bethesda and Bethesda Game Studios and what you can expect from us in the years ahead. Now, you know what's funny about this, guys? There were all sorts of articles this week saying that what Bethesda is doing here, is dangling keys in front of gamers. I would have seen articles, guys, that some person said that Bethesda don't have devs to work on all these games. Try to understand what I'm saying. Media outlets said that Bethesda is lying. Where are they going to get devs to make all of these games that they are saying they are going to make? And let me just tell some of these media outlets this.
Why are you gay?
I didn't say it, that dude said it. Some of these media outlets make it make sense. Do you think Bethesda, ZeniMax, Asha Sharma would put themselves out there to say that they are going to put, all these games out and they don't have enough manpower to make the games? Think about it, guys. Think about it. Do you think that sounds reasonable? No, right? It's obvious that if Asha and Bethesda and the team say that here what they are going to bring out some of these remasters, bring out some of these games, that they have enough people to produce these games. Let's be honest. Let us be honest. Shout out to Jinzo again. Who did I miss? Pricefield, shout out to you. Everyone in the chat, man. Preston, shout out to you. Other Zinc. I miss you, Other Zinc. Richie, what up? Random commenter, shout out to all you guys in the chat, man. So this is what Bethesda said, right? They said, for 40 years, we have built games that have entertained almost 500 million people. More than just games, these are worlds. Worlds for you to explore, shape, and to make your own. Worlds we return to together. That's what's driving us forward. We are investing more deeply in the world's player loves, giving creators a bigger role in shaping their experiences and bringing our team closer together so we can get our games into your hands sooner, support them longer, and continue building them alongside you for decades to come. Starfield continues. With over 17 million players long, this is a lot of players. I was told that Starfield failed. Didn't they say that, guys? Didn't they say that Starfield failed? That is what I was told. With over 17 million players. Now, all of this is players. The mere fact that it's 17 million, meaning it be on Game Pass or PC or what have you, 17 million persons would either purchase Starfield or played it on Game Pass. Right? Whether it is bought or Game Pass, it's a win for Microsoft because someone had to purchase the subscription to play it. And having almost 1 billion hours, that means it had retention. Starfield had retention. The mere fact that people played it over 1 billion hours, that's crazy. Starfield remains an important part of our future. As we enter into year 3, we'll continue expanding the Settle systems with new stories, targeted gameplay improvements, and additional updates, while preparing for for the launch of Starborn, of the new Starborn content next year. More than 40% of players already customize their experience through creation. And we'll continue investing in creators and giving players new ways to make Starfield their own. So Starfield was a success, right? It goes on to talks about created by players. I'm not going to read that, right? Let's look at this here. The future of Fallout. Because of the Fallout TV series, Fallout is a very big franchise now. Everyone knows about Fallout. That series that came out, I know Fallout was a love franchise, but I didn't believe that series would have had all of that support. Hear what it says. Fallout is one of our biggest priorities today. Fallout 5 remains our long range destination, and we have multiple Fallout projects in active development right now. So these things are in active development, right? Fallout 76 continues to be home to millions of players exploring the Apollonesia together, right? With nearly 70 free updates released to date. The journey is far from over. In fact, we have a major Fallout 76 expansion planned for next year. Raven Rock, a prequel story to Fallout 3, Fallout 4, the most award-winning game in the franchise, just celebrated its 10-year anniversary and recently passed over 35 million copies sold, continuing to attract a new audience every year. So Fallout 4 was a success, right? It wasn't as a success maybe as Fallout 3, right? But we've seen that being a success. It says, we also know many players want to revisit previous Fallout experience. While we are not announcing any dates today, we have been working on the remaster for both Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Guys, this is where Phil Spencer dropped the ball. If Phil Spencer would have made a remaster or a remake of Fallout at the launch of the Fallout series, they would have done a killing. They would have done a killing because a lot of these people who were experiencing the series for the first time would have wanted to play this game. And having the new adverts with the new updated graphics and so forth, the new frame rates and so forth, this would have sold well. But again, Phil Spencer missed this mark. But Asha Sharma, she's not missing it. She's saying here what? If Fallout is popular, let's give the public Fallout. And that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Not so, guys. Fallout Shelter continues to be the most popular way to experience Fallout on the go. I don't know about Fallout Shelter, right? It goes on to say studio collaborations and so forth. So at the end of the day, and also the Elder Scroll and beyond, that foundation extends beyond our team to the technology, tools, and system that will power the next generation of Bethesda RPG. Our teams are now developing an Elder Scroll. Is this Elder Scroll 6, sorry, and Fallout 5 on Creation Engine 3. So this is a new engine, guys. This engine is supposed to be, something that improved on the previous engines. A shared technology platform we have been building since Starfield launch. It allows our team to support multiple projects simultaneously with new tools, rendering, and systems that define our games. Guys, let me just say this. If Xbox decide to make Fallout and Elder Scroll exclusive, yeah, listen to me. If they do that, our boy here is going to mash up the place. It arrived. If Microsoft makes Elder Scroll exclusive, mash it up, mash it up. Yeah, mash it up, my boy. It's exclusive. If Xbox decide to make Elder Scroll exclusive, there's going to be a lot of crying. Guys, there's going to be a lot of pain. If Elder Scrolls 6 becomes exclusive, woo-wee, I don't want to imagine what persons would say about that. It's going to be a wild house if that happens. And I mean, that is what a lot of persons are saying. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, this is it here. Listen to what Randall Tor on the podcast 2 would have made a statement on this, and quite frankly, he's right. Right? Listen to what Randall would have said if it is that Xbox decide to make Elder Scroll exclusive. Now, tell me, guys, do you think that's possible for Xbox to do? We know that Elder Scroll was something that they would have put onto PlayStation over the years. But what kind of crime you guys, what kind of outrage these guys are going to have if Elder Scroll becomes exclusive? Look at this here, guys. Listen to what Randall said here. And let me know if he's cooking. Listen.
I think it would make Xbox a stronger platform. And, you know, selfishly, I would love to see another meltdowns by journalists because they freak out about it. If Elder Scrolls 6 was exclusive, the amount of vitriol.
If you thought Starfield was bad, being exclusive at one time, guys, you don't want to see Elder Scrolls. These guys are going to tweak out. If Elder Scroll is exclusive, I'm not going to lie, a lot of us will be doing this. Yeah, buddy. I will be picking out like this guy here. I will be remixing. This is how I will be. Come on, give him it. Elder Scroll is exclusive. I will be doing all of these things. Hey, yo, shout out to Random Commenter with that $2 in the super chat. Random Commenter is saying, let me see what Random Commenter is saying. Random Commenter is saying, it changes gaming if they do. I pray Asha does it. Woo, buddy. That would be a wild ride, Random Commenter. If it is, they do that. But this is what Randall and they were saying here.
Some of these journalists would spit out of their mouths, and their articles about Xbox would be apocalyptic level.
Yeah.
Like people would be furious. People would be utterly furious if it happened. So there's a part of me that's just like, just do it just for that. I want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, you know? Buddy. Me too, Randall. Me too. So shout out Jez and Randall there in that podcast. And they basically summarize what would happen if, you know, Elder Scroll is exclusive to Xbox, right? Now, I just want to say, Asha just has to keep on going. She's doing a good job. She's focusing on what she believes will make the brand stronger, and she's right? Because we saw the numbers, we saw the stats, and the return to exclusive is the best thing. Now, we know not all Xbox games will be exclusive. That is a given, right? Given the success of Forza, given the success of some multiplayer games like Grounded and Sea of Thieves on other platforms, I'm expecting some of those games to go over to PlayStation. That's a given, right? But some of these games, if these ponies want to play it, let them buy an Xbox. It's very simple. If it is, you want to play some of these exclusives, you need to buy an Xbox. It's that simple. Yeah? So let's see how that transpires. Now, guys, again, one of the biggest stories this week was that same. Before I say that, guys, you remember these guys said that it was dead? Did you guys remember that? Didn't the entire internet say that it was no more? Well, guess what? It themselves this week came out and clarified everything. Now, no one can say anything about it because it came out and said it. Listen to what it said.
For starts, I'm not saying anything new.
Hit the like button, guys.
No, there's been reports
Hit the
that like
subscribe button.
we've been
Support your boy through something in the
nerfed
chat.
into the ground and gutted, and we have 50 people, and that's not true. We're the size we were when we made Doom 2016.
So it's not true. Look, it's right here. The main team that deals with the engine, the main team that builds Doom, they have not been seriously affected by the layoffs. Other teams may have been affected, yes. But how the media, the biased media that was saying that it is no more, to believe I was hearing persons say they only had one dev left. I mean, it's crazy.
And id Tech is very much alive and well. You have to understand, we have id Tech engineers both in Frankfurt and at Machine Games. We collaborate quite a bit. So
shout out
the id Tech is there, the Doom team is here, and we're excited to work on, to share with you guys more of what we're working on in the future when it is appropriate and approved. But
so there you have it, guys. Although persons said that id Software was dead, the studio was closing down, it is just a shell of itself. A director from id is saying, no, that was a lie, right? It was a blatant lie that was promoted by the biased gaming media, right? Now, this week, we just understood how severe this situation was, right? Because we even had studios catching a stray. So for this since Sony announced that this situation, Sony have been fighting for their lives. Come on, Sony, fight. You have to fight, Sony. You can't give up. Your fans are coming.
God have mercy upon us.
Fight, Sony, fight. And you're a big bad PlayStation. You're a big bad Sony. Fight them. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, ever since this situation, persons have not stopped talking about no disc, no buy, right? We saw that persons are emulating the PlayStation 5. We saw all sorts of things this week. And you know what was telling, guys? Sony would have released a Wolverine trailer. And during this Wolverine trailer, did you guys go in the comment section? The comment section was a mess. The comment section was a total mess with this Wolverine trailer. Let me see if I can show you guys this. Let me see if I can show you guys this this comment section. Because Sony thought they could have put out a shiny new Wolverine trailer. And guess what? No one would have said anything. That is what they thought. They thought if they came in here with Optic Barrage,
Tornado Claw!
that's what they thought.
Berserker Barrage! Berserker Barrage! Tornado Claw! Come on, Bob, give it everything you
Look
got!
at this here, guys. Look at this here, guys. So this here is the PlayStation, the Wolverine trailer, the recent trailer, right? Look at this. Look at this comment section. Even Wolverine prefers physical disc. Look at this. I can't wait for my disc copy to come in. Right? I'll get this physical. Everything is about Sony's. Bro, even Wolverine is mad because physical. What? mad because his physical photo is good. I mean, look at this. There is nothing Sony could do to stop persons from talking about this. Nothing. Right? You will see how Sony is trying to do something about it. But guess what? Wolverine holding on to the last physical game ever made. I can't wait for my video game to arrive on disc. Right? So everyone is telling Sony that they are dumb to even mention that they're going to get rid of disc. Right? But let me show you what Sony would have done in order to control their fans, in order to muzzle them. Let's see what Sony would have done, because there's a lot that persons that they would have done and we would have seen this week, right? Listen to what is said here. Let me play one video. Right, and then we'll read the article. Right, let me play this one video here. Look at this here, guys.
Uh-oh. So Moore's Law is dead. Says that Sony is using bots to defend the all digital future.
So Moore's Law is dead. He would have did a little bit of investigation to see if it's really bots. So Sony hired Transformer, he hired Optimus Prime, he hired Bumblebee, he hired a lot of androids to try to muzzle these ponies in the chat. You guys want to talk about no disc, no buy? Well, then we are hiring the bots. Optimus Prime.
Oh, man. Very interesting. So his
look at this
original post here, it's pinned. It says here, after an exhaustive analysis of multiple all-digital fan accounts, I have to conclude someone is hiring bots to defend the PlayStation Twitter account.
And it's not the first time, guys. It's not the first time Sony is using bots, by the way. Right? It's not the first time. You could believe the desperation of Sony to actually use bots to try to delete comments, to try to silence persons from saying they do not prefer a digital future. Could you understand the arrogance of Sony? Sony is going to say here what? We are going to make the future into digital, and guess who is going to pay for it and love it? You. Yeah. You are going to pay for it, Tony. When Sony saw the no disc, no buy petition, Sony was very clear. Didn't you hear them, Pony?
You can't do this to me. I started this company. You know how much I sacrificed?
You cannot do this to Sony. Sony is the big ones out here, right? Listen.
And it's probably Sony or Rockstar. What I uncovered is disgusting, but it's also hilarious.
Listen.
So he has a video on this.
To believe Moore's Law is dead leans more to PlayStation. I would even say he's a pony, right? But the mere fact that he's saying, hear this, the mere fact that Sony is trying to control what we say, wow.
I'll check out after this. I do this video. But that's very interesting, because if you haven't known, if you haven't figured it out yet, like a lot of companies do that, they run interference for and against certain things. Yeah. Look, the whole Rotten Tomatoes debacle with Captain Marvel.
Did anyone ever figure out, found out if Microsoft does the same thing? But I would have seen other, I can't remember it right now, but I remember seeing Sony using a bot, something they did wrong, and they were using bots to basically draw up hype for a particular product.
Okay. When it was being flooded with all these 5-star, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and the fans were combating it by flooding it with 1 stars.
Yeah, yeah.
People think that something is going on with the Odyssey right now, you know, so this ain't nothing new. This is that whole dead internet type of thing. There's a couple of pictures
this is wild.
on another post that
guys, let's read the article. This is wild to see that the mighty PlayStation is so desperate to get some kind of positive media that they would employ bots just because they are getting all of this criticism. Yeah, let's read the article and let's see what were what was found when it comes to this thing here. Let's see. Where is the article? Right, here it is. It says PlayStation accused for using social media bots to defend digital-only future. Wow, Sony. Let's see it here. PlayStation faces claims that social media bots are defending Sony's decision to stop producing physical games for new releases from January 2028. Right? Our YouTube channel, Moore's Law is Dead, examined several social media accounts that posted positively about the PlayStation digital-only plans. The creator claims these accounts showed unusual activity, including long periods of silence followed by sudden posts supporting Sony and other game companies. Right? He goes on to say, some accounts reportedly use formal and similar language, interacting with profiles that were later deleted, and displayed profile pictures that appeared to be AI generated. One account had reportedly remained inactive for 6 years before returning to praise Rockstar Games and GTA 6. Guys, and this is why, because GTA 6 sold well, right? GTA is only soft copy, and guess what? That sold gangbusters. Another became active after 3 years and began posting about game ownership and PlayStation digital strategy. Right? So you see what it says here? I have some info. Right? Ubisoft tweets. Okay, not that. So it says, the investigation focused on 3 accounts. However, the findings do not prove that Sony created, controlled, or paid for them. Moore's Law is Dead also acknowledged that an unrelated third party could be responsible for the activity. Do you guys think that there are ponies running these bots? I wouldn't put this past any ponies. I think there are some ponies sick enough to pay bots to run this for Sony. And guess what? Sony's not even paying them, right? Guarantee you, this might be some bots here. This might be some ponies using these bots to make sure that they have positive news for PlayStation. But this is just crazy. Sony appears to be very desperate at this point. They appear to be stretching out for any kind of win, because the bad news for Sony has been relentless. You know how I know things was bad for Sony? I knew things were bad for Sony when even Dreamcast guy was making money on Sony's head. Listen to what I'm saying. Normally, Dreamcast guy will say anything about Xbox. And a matter of fact, he might even sing about crack.
Where you at? Ooh, where you at? Ooh, where you at? Somewhere smoking crack. Where you at? Ooh, at the
At the
trap?
trap?
Ooh, smoking crack.
what? Yes. Dreamcast guy is be at the trap, smoking that white powder. But I'll tell you something. If Dreamcast guy is making money off of Sony head, you know it's bad. Look at this. Listen to this dude now, man.
Hey there, gamers. Dreamcast guy here.
Listen.
Today we're talking about PlayStation because the Sony backlash continues, and if anything, it feels like it's getting worse and worse and worse.
Look at him. Dreamcast guy is pretending to be angry of what Sony is doing. Look at it.
Now that a lot of mainstream media is asking, why end physical disc?
Yeah, this was an article I was supposed to show you guys where Forbes said Sony PlayStation, this decision is the biggest scandal in 20 years. Right, by Paul Tassi.
But something different has happened in the last 24 hours, which is that I think Sony is starting to straight up panic. Not just like, oh, this might hurt our bottom line or we may have a bad quarter. There's a lot of discussion from pretty much the entire internet.
Guys, everybody's beating Sony's legs in. I have never seen so many YouTubers, so many gamers say something negative about Sony. I've never seen it. Right? I know this is my thing. I do it every week. I do it every week. But to see everyone jumping on Sony like this, I was mad. Yeah, boy, these guys are seeing the vision.
That they're not going next gen. If there isn't a physical disc drive to a PlayStation 6, why buy it? Why buy something that does not work with my giant PlayStation?
Well, we know that King from the Iron Lord podcast have been saying no PlayStation 6. Let me say shout out to King and the Iron Lords, man.
5 and PlayStation 4 collection. An all-digital future means the end of the past. If you're not willing to rebuy everything in your entire collection, that means I guess you have to keep your PS5. And at this point, you might as well just only play on your PS5 because how much better can the graphics be? But today,
now all of a sudden the graphics may not be as good on the PlayStation 6 Dreamcast guy. Ooh, this guy will do anything for some views, man. Dreamcast guy see that hating Sony is trending, and now he's jumping under the bandwagon. Now he's going to say PlayStation is dead. I guarantee it. Look at it.
I want to take a look at the backlash because it has taken a strange turn. And additionally, I wanted to take a look at some PlayStation 6 leaks. Now, I'm going to put that in quotes because there's this term called controlled leak, which is that occasionally, whenever there's something big about to happen, whether it is a movie or a video game or a book or an album or something like that, sometimes a company will purposely wink, wink, link stuff to the media, post stuff early to kind of gauge the reaction, right? If you're about
to Dreamcast guy right now is trashing Sony. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that this decision that Sony made would have made one of their most faithful sons of the soil, Dreamcast guy, hate on Sony? I mean, this is just nuts.
To release something, you'll sort of post the specs online or some of the details of it. They're starting to do what seems to me to be some controlled leaks about the PlayStation 6 to kind of gauge that hype, because it does seem like they're trying to release it next year. And even with the controlled leaks, people are saying, even if the PlayStation 6 was free, they wouldn't buy it. But let's take a look.
Even if the PlayStation was free, persons are saying they ain't buying it. Is Dreamcast guy capping here? Is Dreamcast guy capping here? I mean, I don't know, man.
Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could please, maybe Sony is failing as a company. This is the kind of stuff that does actually matter. It makes people go, oh, maybe I don't want a PlayStation 5. Or if you have a PlayStation 5, people start to say, maybe it is worth selling.
Let me just say shout out to the one and only Shrek. Shout out to Force One. Shout out to both of you guys, man. Shout out to all of you guys in the chat.
And buying a PC or starting to buy stuff in the future, going forward on PC and build up that back catalog on there. Now, this backlash is really going all over the place.
Yeah, I've seen it on NBC News, Fox, a lot of mainstream channels. I have seen this news. Persons, I can't scroll twice on Facebook without seeing it. I'm seeing it on Twitter nearly every day. A lot of persons are really hating on Sony because of this situation. Now, a company like Microsoft might have recanted what they said, but the bad press as big as this, yeah, buddy. So they would have returned that. But Sony is so arrogant because Sony is going to make a lot of money. They don't care what the gamers say. December very own, not November, not October, but December. Shout out to you.
Public statement on any
Why so
social media,
serious?
from Blue
Why so
Sky
serious?
to
What up?
Instagram to YouTube. They're actually starting to try and shut off comments on a lot of stuff because everything is getting absolutely
to believe Sony shutting down comments. Sony don't want this bad news cycle to spread. They are shutting you down and putting a muzzle on your mouth. Sony don't care if you ponies behave like a dog. They don't care if it is you bought all their games at full price.
Thank you.
You're making us pay for water, you son of a...
Yeah.
You're making us pay for grapes, apples, things
Everything.
that God gave us for free.
And guess what? We're going to take it back.
You will burn in hell when I'm through
We're
with
going to
you.
take it back.
You will not be allowed in my father's
Not
house
allowed in my father's
at
house.
all.
At all.
Thank you.
You're
Hey.
warmed by people saying, give us the disc. No disc, no buy. You can see behind Logan's incredibly crazy trap muscles here. You can see straight up, everybody's just saying, no disc, no buy. He's fighting for the final physical media. And this kind of stuff is...
And a lot of persons are saying that Sony would have outright deleted comments in that YouTube. That YouTube that I just showed you guys was sanitized. That is not the original YouTube from when this trailer just dropped. Sony would have sanitized that trailer, taken out some of the comments previously.
What I think makes Sony panic the most. Insomniac has, to a heavy degree, been solo holding up the PlayStation 5. There's been more Insomniac exclusives than any other Sony studio.
No, Insomniac was worth all the money that they got, that Sony paid for them. Because without Insomniac being there, I don't know how Sony first-party content would have looked. Insomniac has single-handedly saved Sony first-party from being disastrous. Right?
Far, right? The fact that they made everything from Ratchet and Clank to all the Spider-Mans, they have been holding this up. So if suddenly they're getting swarmed, that's the stuff that if Wolverine bombs, I mean, straight up, this is the stuff that's going to make PlayStation heavily rethink that decision as best as possible. I mean, look at this. This has 20...
Wolverine is not going to bomb. I don't think Wolverine will bomb. To be honest, I think Wolverine will do well. It will not do anything close to Spider-Man. It might do a 3-4 million, but not anything close to Spider-Man. Yeah, because of the type of game it is. A lot of kids can't play Wolverine, right?
1,000 likes almost, right? Here it is. It's very possible that Sony loses the Marvel title license in the future, which would result in this game being pulled from their digital storefronts.
Wow.
This is the number one thing that I don't like about the idea of the debate against physical versus digital. Some people are saying,
so in other words, what this person is saying is that if it is Sony loses the license for Marvel or for Wolverine, that they can take the game out of your system that you would have paid for, that is wild. And I mean, it is not a far-fetched statement because they did the same thing with, Gran Turismo. There were certain Gran Turismo that Sony would have taken cars out, take the game out altogether. I mean, so this is not something so far-fetched and so left field that it can't happen.
I've been digital for years. It's not that big of a deal. Games go on sale digitally as well. It's not like every game's full price forever. It's not even about the price.
Yeah, but
it is
I mean, not because you prefer digital games, that don't mean that, some other gamer don't prefer physical. There must be an option. It can't be that, companies are forcing what they think should be the future onto gamers. If a gamer wants to buy their game physical, so be it. If a gamer wants to pass their games down to their kids, to their nephews, nieces, what have you, so be it. That cannot happen with digital. Now, Microsoft would win huge if they included this drive in the Helix, and if Microsoft make a way where you can sell your soft copy games. Wow, think about it. You have a game on your console and you can sell it to another gamer somewhere across the world. That would be a crazy feature.
If something gets removed from the storefront on a game console, you can't get it back. If it happens on a PC, you could technically bootleg it, or you can find something, or you can find like fan servers. If something is pulled from a console's digital storefront, it's gone. Like perma, thrown into the pits of hell, gone. Yeah. And that even could be first party stuff. There's a Gran Turismo that is just gone. Sony removed it from their stores and it is gone if you don't have a physical disc. Look at this. I saw this tweet. This literally went up right as I was getting ready to film.
So I mean, guys, this is not going to stop. I don't see this backlash is slowing down anytime for Sony. Sony don't know what to do at this point in time. There's so much hate right now for Sony because of this situation. It's not even funny. And guess what? Sony deserves every minute of it because they just don't care. Sony don't care what gamers think. They are going to make more money by not having a disk drive in the PlayStation 6 than ever before, right? All of this noise that some ponies are making and Sony fans are making, Sony's not going to listen to them because they have too much money out there. Too much money to me. And let me just say, or let me just point out the last story of the night. Look at this here, guys. This is a story. Is this it here? Is this the story from Game Radar? There has to be a reason for people to buy an Xbox, making sense of Microsoft's messy return to console exclusivity, right? Now, this is not the article, what it is I have, but I'll read it, right? It says, Xbox announced a return to console exclusivity on June 7th. A move intended to draw players back to the platform after a challenging generation. A lot has happened since then. By July 7th, devastating layoff fractured the foundation of the platform. I mean, this sounds like a biased article, right? Studios are fighting for survival. What? Studios are fighting for survival. All right. And some of the video games that would have defined Xbox 2027 is now are now in the hands of new owners. So that means we're not getting it, right? Again, another biased article, but I'll read it. There's been a lot of noise and uncertainty. So much so that a significant shift in strategy for Xbox barely had time to breathe before attention was forced elsewhere. After making a bet on going multi-platform, Xbox is now pulling some of the tentpole titles back from the PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch. Some, but not all. Now, Asha was very clear. This multi-platform approach did not work for them. Guys, and how do you guys feel? Now, I always said that Game Pass was a steal of a deal, right? I love Game Pass. You get to play so many different games in Game Pass for a low monthly fee, right? But I used to be like, how is Xbox paying for all of this great content on Game Pass? Let me try to play as much games as possible before this goes away. Now, guys, if it is Xbox decide to not put their first-party games onto Game Pass, how would you guys feel about that, right? Of course, I wouldn't feel good because at the end of the day, those first-party games was doing it. But if it is not working, it was good while it lasted, Right? It was good while it lasted. I don't want it to happen, but it was good while it lasted. And that might be a possibility because Asha Sharma did say that Game Pass did not work as well. So multi-platform didn't work according to Asha, and she's saying Game Pass didn't work as well. But here what this article goes on to say, the long-awaited and debated return of Xbox consoles exclusivity isn't clean. It's messy. Okay. Rumors started circulating 48 hours before the strategy revealed to the public, with developers across the Xbox portfolio openly trading rumors on the grounds of Summer Games Fest. Okay, so this is clearly a biased piece, but what I'm not seeing the article here. Like I got the wrong article. What this article was going to say is that here what they recently had an interview with Xbox senior personnel, and they said that Gears of War ED and Clockwork Revolution is not a one-off exclusivity deal. So Microsoft is going to have more games exclusive. So when person said, it will be time exclusive and so forth, no. Microsoft is going to have more exclusives. And I told you guys, the day Microsoft makes a big game like Elder Scroll or Fallout exclusive, these ponies would be out of their minds, right? Let me just say shout out to December very own for that $10 super chat. Let me just say thanks for the support. December is saying Sony need this public beating. Xbox, it's time to take over. Yeah, buddy. Listen to me. December, we would have been beaten Sony like a snake for some time now in December. I don't know if it is but we have been beating Sony. Where is it? We have been beating Sony for a while. Don't run. Don't run. Looks like peas. Don't run. Don't run. Take it, Sony. They deserve licks. They deserve it, December. Sony deserve all the licks, all the blows they are getting. Because, and exactly what December is saying is that right now, Microsoft have the layup. Microsoft could do so many things right now to make the gaming industry smile, to make the gaming industry happy. Right now, Asha Sharma and the team, they can act. And guess what? We will be up, man.
Ooh, turn them up, baby. Bow, bow.
Come on, we will be up like this here. Come on. The Xbox team will be moving silkier than Egyptian silk. Look at this. Come on. Come on. Come on. They're not ready for this. We can take over. Right? Come on, man. But again, Microsoft need to make good moves. I'm seeing Asha have a good head on her shoulders. So let's see what Asha Sharma does as we go forward. Let's see what she does December. But again, shout out to you again, December, for that super chat. Right? So it's no debate. Microsoft is returning to exclusive content. And what games would you guys like to see be exclusive for Xbox? I would like to see. Now, I know some of you guys are going to say all, right? They are not going back to exclusives. No. It have too much money. It have too much money out there, and at the end of the day, that's all these corporations want. The only thing we should be worried about, guys, is how we are benefiting as Xbox gamers. That should be it. Let Microsoft figure out what they are doing, right? But at the end of the day, once Xbox gamers benefit from Xbox content, and PlayStation and Nintendo gamers don't get the same benefit, we should be good. We will feel special. We will feel like, here what? This is unique to my platform, right? So at the end of the day, this is what we are seeing. But this week was wild, guys. This week was wild. Sony using bots. Sony using bots to muzzle persons. Is the guys there at Sony drunk?
You please tell me why you're stopping me?
Are these execs high?
What? Stop that! What's that, son?
So at the end of the day, guys, this is all the news I have for you this evening. I'm a little over time. Let me just say shout out to everyone who pulled up tonight. Guys, hit the like button. Let me just say shout out to let me see if I can get some of you guys in the chat here who showed up. Yo, December very own again with the $5 super chat saying, let me put you up here. He said, Halo, Fable, and Gears, etc. As an original Xbox owner, I don't want the blue side to play the games I grew up playing. Wow, I couldn't say it any better than that. I couldn't say it any better than that. I know that Microsoft regrets putting Halo onto PlayStation, as we heard rumors. Asha was trying to get, Halo out of PlayStation. Hey, Bay Area, shout out to you. Dolomite, shout out to you. Other Zinc, shout out to you. We could all agree that Halo, Fable, and Gears should not be on a PlayStation platform. It just shouldn't, right? I would have hoped Asha would have taken off Fable at least. I mean, Halo, I think that was already gone already. Halo shouldn't be there at all. I mean, that's like blasphemy. But it is what it is. This was some of the moves by the old regime. And I believe, I am a full believer that this is the first and last Halo PlayStation is seeing, right? And this Halo looks good, man. This Halo, I didn't believe the Halo team would have utilized Unreal Engine like this. This Halo looks clean. Kenna man, woo, buddy. Now, I became a Halo fan with Halo 3. I didn't get a chance to play the first Halo and the second Halo, so I'm going back to play that, right? But let me just say that this is crazy, right? So everyone agrees with December very own, but let's see how this develops, man. Let's see how this develops, right? So guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Let me just say again, shout out to December very own, Jinzo, Bay Area, Anonymous Boss. We had Price Field. We had Bay Areas in the house. We had Dolomite. We had Other Zinc. Who again we had stepping in the chat tonight, man? Who again we had? We had the oldest. He's the wisest. He's the oldest. The oldest, man. We had Fancy Action Now stepping in. We had Why So Serious? All of you guys who came in, and Professor Strong, Adidas 20, all of you guys who came in and supported tonight, shout out to you. We had All Stars with all the haymakers. All Stars funny, man. We had, is it Ire? All of you guys in the chat, shout out to all of you guys. Let me just say, tune into next week. I might have a stream sometime in the week again. And let me just say thanks for all the support, right? As you guys leave, don't forget to hit the like button. There's a lot happening in the coming weeks. Let's see what Microsoft does. Let's see what Sony do. Because this backlash is crazy. I know it was bad. But you see, this backlash, man, oh man. This backlash have all of these Sony fans like... I mean, it's not easy, man. It's not... Look at this. Look at this man here. It's not easy. These ponies, they just can't take it. But guys, I'll see you guys later. Guys, don't forget, be safe tomorrow. Don't forget to tell your family members that you love them. And don't forget to put God first and mankind after, guys. God first and mankind after in everything that you do. And it will be all right. It would be all right. Peace up. Love in the house, guys. You guys be safe. I'll see you guys in the next one, right? Take it easy. Ponies. It's exclusive, ponies. It will continue to be exclusive, right? No one is going to lie. Hey, Maz, shout out to you, man. Shout out. Guys, later.